You know, sometimes the key to unlocking an entire world can be found in the smallest of places. Not on a map, not in some history book, but inside the words people actually speak. Today, we're going to go on a little linguistic journey, and we're going to use just a tiny piece of a dictionary to explore the incredible world of the Kmhmu language.
So, our whole journey starts right here, with this single character. It might look a little mysterious, maybe even a little intimidating, but trust me, this one symbol, this is our key. It's the first clue that's going to help us piece together a really fascinating puzzle.
So that's the big question for our explainer today, isn't it? What is this character? And, more importantly, how can we follow the thread from just this one letter to understand the grammar, the daily life, and even the sounds of the Kmhmu world?
All right, first things first, we gotta decode this thing. This character you see, ge, it actually represents a sound. It's the ge sound, you know, like in the word go. That's it. This character is ge. So now that we have a sound, we can start to read, and even better, we can start to hear. This is our way in. Now, what's brilliant about this dictionary is that it gives us a cheat sheet. It's called phonetic transcription. It's basically just a guide that tells us exactly how to pronounce the Kmhmu words. So for example, for the word bonyo, the guide tells us it's pronounced gon. So you see, even if we can't read the script yet, we can already start to speak and listen.
Okay, so once we can make the sounds, we can start putting words together. And this is where we get to uncover the logic of the language. It's grammar. And you'll see, it's actually beautifully simple, but it builds ideas in a way that might feel a little different from what you're used to.
Okay, check this out. In English, we say this person. The adjective this comes before the noun person, right? But in Kmhmu, it's flipped. You say the noun first, then the adjective. So it becomes khon khoni, which is pronounced gon ni, literally person this. It's such a simple flip, but it reveals a whole different way of structuring a thought.
Let's just break that down piece by piece. First, we have hon, pronounced gon, which means person. Then we add ni, pronounced gni, which means this. You put them together and you get gon gni, or person this. It's a totally clear, logical way of building a phrase. Once you see that pattern, you'd basically cracked a fundamental code of the language.
And this slide just shows you how consistent that logic is. The noun for person, gon, it always stays at the front. You just swap out the second word. So gon gnai is person that. Gon bong is person another. Gon pme is person who. See? It's a really elegant and efficient system.
So this simple grammar gives us a framework, but what about the words themselves? I mean, beyond the rules, the vocabulary of a language is like a map, and it reveals what's really important in the daily lives of its speakers. The words are a direct reflection of the culture. Just look at this collection of words, all starting with that G sound we've been talking about. We have ge, a rice storage basket, gav, which is the specific act of weeding a rice field, and gwal, a rice pounder. I mean, these words alone paint such a clear picture of a society that's really centered around agriculture. But it's not just about daily work. A word like gan, which is a pole used to carry a corpse, gives us this solemn little glimpse into the rituals and traditions that hold a community together. All right, so we've seen the logic and the lifestyle. But language is also about sound and texture, and just fun. Now we get to explore the rich, descriptive, and sometimes pretty surprising nature of Kmhmu vocabulary. One of the most delightful things you find in the Kmhmu dictionary is its absolute love for onomatopoeia. You know, those words that sound like what they mean. And Kmhmu has an incredible arsenal of them to describe the world in really vivid detail.
I mean, how amazing is this? The Kmhmu word for the specific sound of breathing when you have a blocked nose is gruk grik. Just say it. Gruk grik. It's so incredibly precise, and it sounds exactly like what it is. This isn't just a word, it's a sound experience.
And there are just so many more. The language lets you hear the world. You can hear the gang of a bell, the gruck of teeth grinding, the tiny little gret of a mouse gnawing on something, and the griap of shoes on the ground. The language doesn't just tell you what's happening, it lets you hear it happening. The language also holds some really wonderful little surprises. Take the word pronounced gang. Now, depending on the context, gang can mean house, but gang can also mean knife handle. Two completely unrelated things sharing the exact same sound. It just shows you how crucial context is.
Here's another great one. The word gui means mongoose, but it also means slowly.
Now, I'm not sure if anyone has ever seen a mongoose move slowly, but this little quirk is part of what makes every language its own unique and kind of playful system.
So let's pull all of this together for a second. We started with just a single character, and we followed the trail. We decoded its sound, we figured out some grammar, we saw reflections of a way of life, and we even got to hear the sounds of the Kmhmu world.
Now, for what I think is the most incredible part of this entire journey, every single piece of information, every insight we've just talked about came from just 13 pages of a dictionary. 13! Think about that. It just shows you the immense density of culture and history and perspective that's packed into every single language.
And this really brings us to a powerful conclusion. A dictionary isn't just a boring list of dead words. It's a living library, where every single entry is like a doorway into a different world, a different way of seeing and being.
And that leaves us with a final thought. We've had just a brief glimpse into the world of Kmhmu today. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With thousands of languages spoken on our planet, each one just as rich and complex as this one, what other worlds are out there, just waiting to be discovered one word at a time?